Right, Nerd News Network. Relatively
Yes.
quiet week, but there are two things, and they're things.
They are
Um,
things.
So I've just realised there's a typo here, but oh well. Disney are apparently considering trailing Hulu to, I think, Comcast
Right.
to get back the film rights for Hulk.
Hmm.
This is really interesting on a number of reasons. A, is this the fucking NBA? We're trading now? And
Well,
B, so I don't know if Hulu's actually available in the UK or if all Hulu stuff just comes through Disney Plus now. I know some of it comes through Disney
I
Plus.
think some of it does. I don't know if all of it does.
I feel like some of it comes through Disney Plus and some of it has other partners. I don't think Hulu's
Possibly.
available in the UK at all.
Not that I'm aware
Hulu
of. But
UK, let me see.
could be.
Oh no, it looks like Hulu is available in the UK.
Oh.
But a lot of Hulu stuff is on Disney Plus. So I don't know how that would resolve itself should this deal go through. Would we lose the Hulu stuff that's on Disney Plus?
I would imagine so.
Or would they have an agreement that new stuff won't come, but series that have already started and everything we've already got stays on?
I would imagine it would mean most of it going away.
But also, Hulu's quite an interesting one. I don't know a lot about it, but I'm pretty sure Hulu's a streaming service where you can pay like £2 a month and you get an account that has ads. Or you can pay like £8 a month and you get an account that's ad free. So like it was designed to be a competitor to Netflix in the sense of,
yeah, it was.
oh well, you can pay less for lots of shows, and you'll get adverts, but you're going to save more money. And by the sounds of it, a lot of people chose that option because they're like, well, it's £3 a month, it's one less coffee. Because as all boomers know, by not buying as many coffees, you can afford houses.
I think it's interesting. It doesn't surprise me they're doing a trade situation now. Disney can't just buy up everything anymore. It's this issue of Disney has too much of a monopoly in certain areas.
Let's be honest, we're both gamers.
Yes.
With the situation with Microsoft's acquisition of Activision right now, are you looking back to that Disney buying Fox deal and going, how the fuck did no one complain about that? And then you realise there was no one big enough to complain because Disney owns all of them.
Yeah, there was like this is the thing is Sony never kicked up a fuss because they knew they had the golden egg of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew they always had that over Disney, so it didn't matter what Disney had, they always had that. No one else questioned anything, and because Marvel was the only really ones doing superhero stuff, everyone was like, oh yeah, sure, let Disney have more. How Disney has got half of the things without issues of monopoly, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think that is the reason why they're going with a trade for Hulk.
So I also feel like Hulu's not worth that much.
I think it's big-ish in America. It's not got a huge international presence.
Hulu.
But it's not going to be anywhere near as big as Disney. It's
by the looks of it, Hulu's worth about 28 billion apparently. In 2021, it made 9.6 billion in revenue, which was a 33% increase over the previous year. But 2020 a pandemic year?
Yes.
Okay.
Really? Either way, here's the thing. I think whoever gets Hulu, in a way, is benefiting. They're benefiting off Hulu more than they are Hulk.
Oh, 1 second.
Oh.
1 second. I've just seen another article here.
Oh.
And it is a month old, but it's got separate information that doesn't change anything but adds to it.
Okay.
Comcast and Disney inked their deal in May 2019, which gave Disney control of Hulu. Comcast has the right to sell its ownership stake to Disney as early as January 2024, And conversely, Disney can require Comcast to sell it at that point. So I think Comcast going, I don't want to give up Hulu, it's making nice money. And Disney going, fine, we will give up our right to claim it if you give us Hulk. I
Probably.
think.
Or it's gone along the lines of Marvel's now at a position where they're like, Hulk could be really useful to us.
They desperately want to do
World War Hulk. Yeah. They are obviously setting up for this idea they want to do Hulk, and they don't want to end up in a Sony situation again, where they make a deal for one film and then it becomes a pain in the ass down the line. Because let's be honest, Tom Holland ended up having to save Spider-Man. We nearly lost it all because Sony didn't want to do a deal. They don't want to go through that again.
Yeah.
So yes, they might be able to make a deal for like the first two World War Hulk setup films or whatever, but who knows if that starts making money that Comcast is then like, well, we want more cut or whatever. Disney probably cares less about Hulu, so they're like, Hulk is a bigger value to us than Hulu is.
Okay, I'm starting to piece this together here. Businesses are fucking confusing, and they're always trying to keep us on. So Comcast owns Universal. Universal owns the right to Hulk. Therefore, Comcast owns the right to Hulk. It looks like it would look like Disney give up their claim to Hulu.
Yeah.
In exchange for all of Marvel characters owned by Universal. I think that's more than Hulk.
Probably.
Marvel character. I think that's also Namor. Marvel character rights owned. Ownership.
Interesting.
Just give me the answers. I
mean,
still holds the right. Stuck at Universal.
It definitely feels like Disney is willing to.
Yeah. It's Namor and Hulk that Universal own the rights to, so they definitely want that deal to go through. Give us Hulk and Namor back, because the deal they've had with Universal for a long time is that Hulk and Namor can be used when they're not the title character.
Yes.
And especially with the way it is.
Especially with the way Black Panther ended, and
they want Namor, especially with the Fantastic Four coming in. They want Namor. They want Hulk. We are getting. Marvel might be saved. They're going for the OG Holy Trinity: Spider-Man, Hulk, Wolverine. We're getting them, baby. As well as obviously the first family of Marvel in the Fantastic Four.
I think it's that situation where Universal sees this as okay. So the deal is like Marvel's going, we want Hulk and Namor fully, and they're like, okay. Well, it's only a bit more than what they're giving. What are you going to give us for that? And they're like, you can have Hulu. And Universal's probably like, you're just going to give up your right to Hulu. Okay. So this sounds interesting. Not realizing that Disney is willing, I imagine, because Hulu, as we've said, makes decent money.
Yeah, but I looked at it, makes decent money.
I can guarantee that Disney would happily cut that off for the freedom of being able to use Hulk and Namor how they want.
Well, here's the
with
thing.
the long-term hope of the money that makes them.
And here's the thing. So, like, if Hulu, Comcast owns Universal, which is part of NBC.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be like your Criminal Minds, your NCIS, and that, which are on Disney Plus. Disney will probably more than happily sign a 10-year deal worth whatever amount of money to keep that stuff on Disney Plus as well. So they can probably go, okay, we'll have Hulu and the 10 billion it's making in revenue a year. We'll get rid of these characters that we're not really doing anything with. And we're going to make another deal to sell the shows that you previously had at no extra cost back to you to increase our revenue on that even more.
I do think.
Let's remember, Universal made 2 Hulk films.
Let's try not to remember. Yeah, I know.
One of them was technically also an MCU film, but after that, that's when they went, he's only allowed to be a side character.
I fully believe this is Disney want to use him for main don't want to go through the process of having to come up with some sort of deal with Universal to allow that, because they know it just from their experience with Spider-Man how awkward that is down the line. They're trying to get ahead of it now by maybe taking a slight loss to gain these characters, but knowing that in the long run it's going to pay out for them.
Yeah, 100%.
I hope this deal goes through. I hope we get, because then what's left that Marvel? It's just Spider-Man, right? And
Just Spider-Man.
all the Spider-Man
Just Spider-Man.
stuff.
I can double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's just Spider-Man. Marvel character rights not owned
By Disney.
by Disney. Okay, so we've got obviously Spider-Man, Hulk, Namor, Venom, She-Hulk. Who owns She-Hulk?
Well, is that under the Hulk stuff?
So apparently She-Hulk's still owned by Universal, but they don't seem as confident about that.
It could be they own Hulk and all Hulk characters.
Yeah. And Mysterio.
Right.
Now, that's not a very good list because we also know at least Morbius is owned by Sony. I think the way these deals kind of worked was Spider-Man and all of his rogues, essentially.
Yeah, it's like the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, the Spider-Man class of characters, so Spider-Man, Venom, Doc Ock, all of that. And then it looks like the Hulk, Namor, and their sub-characters.
Yes.
That being said, though, does that make sense? I think it does.
Because I mean,
if they sort this deal out with Universal, all they won't own is Spider-Man and related characters, which they're never ever going to get back.
No,
Sony are making too much money to let anything go wrong there.
Sony will never give them up, but I do think Sony will continue to do, as long as they want to use Tom Holland, they'll play ball because it's printing them both money. What it looks like after that, who knows?
Yeah, it's an interesting one for sure.
It's the inner the business of the MCU is painful to keep up with.
Do you reckon I could get hired as Kevin's right hand, and my job would just be kicking in studio doors to get back the Marvel characters? Just kick down Sony's front door. It's like, give us back Spider-Man.
Just constantly giving them like just dumb lowball offers to the point where they go, right, fine, just give us a realistic offer already, and maybe we'll consider it. And then you go bang, and they go, ooh.
Yeah, just go for the old is it a TikTok or a Vine? I can't remember. The guy in the corner shop. It's like, how much is that? This £3, sir. Here's 50p. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's just like going in, here's an offer for Hulk, and they're like, no. You constantly do it month after month, and they go, right, are you going to give us a realistic offer? You hit them with a realistic offer, and then to them, that seems like a huge jump up, and like, oh, well,
no,
maybe we should take this.
How do I put this on my CV to Kevin, though? Do I just go, I have played 100,000 hours of Monopoly?
I will screw over.
I know how to make a shit deal look phenomenal, and I will burn even my closest relatives.
Yeah.
On some news regarding Daredevil Born Again.
Yes, staying in the Marvel world.
Now, I don't think any of this has been confirmed.
It hasn't.
But the rumors are very strong, and they seem...
It's based off a roll call.
Yeah.
For Daredevil Born Again.
So there is a chance we don't have all the information.
This is true.
But it's pretty safe to assume this is accurate. It looks like Jon Bethernal will be returning as Frank Castle / the Punisher. But Foggy and Karen will not be returning, at least with the same actors.
Yeah, so the roll call had Jon Bethernal now as Punisher, and then I'm pretty sure he tweeted out some picture as well after that news was circulating, which kind of confirmed he was back.
Which I mean, Rosario Dawson leaked it months ago and then tried to backpedal.
Yeah.
And we were like, I don't know if that was real or not.
Yeah. but there's no mention of the actors that play Foggy and Karen. Now, I'm still sticking with my prediction that this is Daredevil got snapped and he's back, and it's him dealing with things.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my theory then: if Punisher's back, Punisher didn't get snapped. Punisher's been keeping things under control his way.
Oh.
And then we're going to get another Daredevil butting heads with Punisher. Maybe
Well,
they
this is
have
the
to work
beautiful
together.
thing about the Punisher. He can continue to be like a weird villain whenever you want him to. You can have Punisher fighting Daredevil and Spider-Man and every other street level hero in New York on a rotational basis.
Yeah.
You could make it a fucking joke. Fucking, you come into Spider-Man 4, you just got Peter on the phone going, fuck, is it my week to deal with Frank again? God damn it.
Yeah, Frank's in your quarter of the city.
Yeah. Just so you know, he's moved over to Queens. That is your problem now. So yeah, I wouldn't be against that at all. I doubt he'll be a big part of it for long, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a couple of episodes at the beginning where Matt's having to deal with him.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some. I'm just glad that it is pretty much solidly confirmed now that Jon Bethernal is back, and I'm very much glad of that, because it would have been a huge mistake to try and recast that.
Yeah, and I think we can be relatively confident as well that they're going for the approach of the Netflix shows happened in a alternate Earth that is very similar. So it's going to be basically the same, but there's going to be a couple of things slightly different.
Yeah.
And I think one of them things that might be slightly different is that man there is the new Iron Fist. Don't ask questions. He always looked like this.
I think, yeah, you might be right. And then that's why Foggy and that aren't about.
And to be fair, it might just be they weren't available for this series and they didn't really need them too much. So they're just like, we'll bring you back later on. We don't need you right now.
Yeah, it could very much be that. This could also just be roll call for the start of production, and it's like
one particular fucking day.
Yeah, they might not even be needed till like later on in the season. So there's a hope. I would like to see them back. I think it would be very cool to have them back. They're not make it or break it though.
No, but I think a lot of people will be quite upset. But we've also got to remember when Daredevil comes out, it's going to get loads of hate.
Yeah, it's...
Because there are so many weirdos on the internet who decided Netflix showed the best ever comic book character ever, and no one can ever possibly compare because Matt Murdock's going to make one smile and everyone's going to be like, they ruined him.
Yeah, because you make one joke or sleep with someone and
and the whole world is going to end.
Yeah.
Right.